What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Lakers have extended Rob Pelinka. So now he is the president of basketball operations as well as the GM, on top of, him and JJ Redick now being basically your leadership of the organization for the foreseeable future. And it's something I'm okay with. I mean, when you go and trade for Luka and set yourself up for the next 10 years, right? Getting one of the premier stars in the league already, right? You're probably getting a contract extension, right? You're probably sticking around for the long term. But also this just gives the Lakers that stability, right? He brought in JJ Redick, who has been fantastic, should be one of the coach of the year candidates. Lakers have been fantastic, finished as the 3 seed this year. You still got LeBron and Austin Reeves. And my guess, a very busy offseason. Even if the Lakers win the NBA championship this year, Lakers are probably going to really kind of revamp this roster in many ways. Obviously, if you win the championship, maybe not as extreme as you would otherwise, but I imagine the Lakers are going to definitely get a center and probably several other pieces. I do expect a lot of trades to get done this offseason as they kind of try to build and shape this team around Luka. Luckily, whatever you need for Luka, you also need for LeBron, right? You want defense and shooting alongside Luka. Well, what do you want alongside LeBron? Defense and shooting. Now, you do need a center for Luka that can be that lob threat. But outside of that, right, it's all pretty much the same thing that you'd want alongside Luka and LeBron, and even Austin Reeves, right? I am curious to see what they do with Austin Reeves this upcoming offseason because he is going into a contract year. So do they extend him to a new contract? What does that look like? But is still, yet to be seen. Obviously, we're focused, locked in right now on the playoffs. Playoffs is the biggest factor. You got game 1 tomorrow, so got to get that done. But as far as Rob Pelinka goes, because I know that there have been, everyone's in his corner right now because he got the Luka trade. But in general, I've been a big defender of Rob Pelinka, right? Because most of the stuff that Rob Pelinka gets criticized for had nothing to do with him, right? And you got to remember, ownership has the final say, right? Great example. The Buddy Hield Miles Turner trade. Jeannie vetoed that. The Russell Westbrook trade. Jeannie told Rob to do that. And I've seen people try to go, well, you're the GM. You should, tell your boss, the owner of the organization, no? Tell you what, you go to work tomorrow and your boss tells you to do something. You tell them, nah, I'm not going to do that. See how long you're there with that company, right? He still wants his job. He doesn't want to lose his job, right? And Rob Pelinka, has he been a perfect GM? Absolutely not. But what GM is? People praise guys like Sam Presti, and Rob Pelinka has had more success than him. People look at Sam Presti of the Oklahoma City Thunder as the best GM in the business. And what has he done? Rob Pelinka won a championship, right? Put that team together. People forget, Magic left before that, right? Rob Pelinka is the one that put that championship roster together. Yes, you could argue Magic went and got LeBron. LeBron was coming to Lakers regardless. He said it himself. His family wanted to be here. I've seen people even try to criticize Rob Pelinka for the JJ trade. Oh, well, Nico Harris presented it. Rob Pelinka didn't have to do anything. He did it? He didn't have to negotiate? Nico and Dallas even talked about how they wanted other things. Rob Pelinka didn't give up any draft assets, didn't give up Austin Reeves, didn't give up anything. Fleeced them. Absolutely fleeced Dallas, right? But, he doesn't get credit for that. Again, you can't have it both ways. You can't criticize someone for, failures, which many aren't even, if people want to criticize Rob Pelinka, fine, but criticize him for the things that he actually did, such as, great example, they created an entire rule. It's called the Rob Pelinka rule now because of how poorly he handled second round draft picks and stuff, right? They had to change it because Rob Pelinka managed that so terribly. Rob Pelinka has done a lot wrong, don't get me wrong, but he's also done a lot right. People forget, Lakers won the championship and everyone's like, oh, they should have never blown up that roster. They didn't. The following year, they upgraded it. If it wasn't for Laker injuries, right? LeBron got hurt. Anthony Davis got hurt. Dennis Schroeder got COVID and came back and was never the same when he came back from COVID. Otherwise, Lakers might go back to back. And if they went back to back, they're probably not getting Russell Westbrook, right? They did that because LeBron James and Anthony Davis wanted Russell Westbrook. Again, the reports are there. I've done entire deep dives into this because people said that, no, that's not how it went. Again, you can Google it. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook went to Anthony Davis's house and talked about playing together and that they would do whatever it took. And Anthony Davis even said he would play center and LeBron would play the 4 and whatever they had to do in order to make it work. So they went, they told Jeannie Buss, and Jeannie Buss went to Rob Pelinka and said, hey, get this done. Rob Pelinka got it done. It was the only way to do it. And then Rob Pelinka turned around and on several occasions went to go correct it. If we trade for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, we might have won the championship because you would have been better matched up against the Oklahoma City Thunder, or not the Denver Nuggets, right? You in that finals because you would have had Anthony Davis and Miles Turner, right? But Jeannie vetoed that. Jeannie has vetoed like 3 trades since Rob Pelinka's been the GM. How many organizations do you ever hear vetoing trades, right? Rob Pelinka has done a better job than most. Rob Pelinka has actually been a good GM, right? He's made mistakes, particularly early on, right? He definitely overpaid on a couple transactions, but he's learned and he's figured it out and he did better. The Dorian Finney-Smith trade, one of the biggest concerns about that was like, oh no, did he give up a first? Right? Did he give up? And no, he gave up 2 seconds, which was cheaper than the Rui Hachimura trade. Right? Like, again, Rob Pelinka has done a good job of learning from his mistakes and moving forward. And then went and got Luka and then pulled off a deal for Mark Williams. Yes. And people were like, yeah, that was a bit of an overpay, but it was justified. It was understandable. And then it didn't work out. And Rob was like, okay, fine. We'll just pivot in the offseason. Right? But at least he tried. Again, he's done more than how many GMs have done. Again, he won a championship. People, oh, look at this GM and that GM and this GM and that. What have they done? People look at like Daryl Morey, although people have kind of came around to Daryl Morey more recently. But no, like Daryl Morey was praised as this like, genius GM that thinks outside the box and does all this stuff. What has he done? Sam Presti, as great as he is, and look, Sam Presti is a good GM. I don't want to undersell Sam Presti, but people act like he's just this like revolutionary GM that's just always one step ahead and has how many championships? Oh yeah, that's right, 0. And had Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden in their primes. All right, like again, it's not that simple. Right? It's easy to just go, oh, you need to pull off a trade. You need to do this. You need to do that. Rob Pelinka's made a trade every season he's been in office outside of last trade deadline. And you could even argue in the summer of that season, made a couple trades. It just didn't work out. It just didn't pan out. But it happens. You're going to have misses. You're going to have hits. You're going to have goods. You're going to have be bads. How do you recover is always the biggest thing. Right? Even this like leading into this trade down. I had a lot of people that really wanted me to get more on Rob Pelinka. You're not criticizing Rob Pelinka enough. You're not doing this. And what did I say? If the time comes and and he fails, we'll talk about it. And then he'll deserve the criticism. But let's wait and see. I'm not going to judge somebody on something that may or may not happen. I'm not going to judge somebody on a situation that I'm not in the front office. I'm not on the phone. I don't know what's going to happen, and what happened? We end up getting Luka. Now imagine if I was up here like Rob Pelinka's this, that, and the other, and now I got to come on here and go, he got Luka. I look silly, right? Again, I understand from a fan perspective, we're the pendulum swing. I talk about it all the time, right? And it's with wins, it's with losses, it's with players, it's with GMs, it's with everything, right? Like, like something good happens, it's the greatest thing ever, blah, 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 and then, oh my God, fire this guy, get rid of him, trade him, whatever, right? Like it's the mix, match, hosh-posh. But I feel like as somebody that, makes videos and people watch it and, it's my responsibility to be as level-headed as possible and stay within the boundaries. Yes, do I have my moments? Sure, of course. I am a fan. I am human. I have emotions. When Lakers do something foolish, I get frustrated. When Lakers do something great, I'm stoked, right? But I try my best to stay within the boundaries, right? Not have, if they are swings, they're, light swings, right? And again, we got to trust the process. Let things finish. right? Rob Pelinka said, if something was there, I would have done it last offseason or last trade deadline, right? He talked about it. He was like, hey, if I could have done something, I would have done it. But there wasn't anything there. There wasn't anything that made sense that would have put us where we needed to go. And Rob was patient. And ultimately, we got Luka. Imagine if you went and traded for DeJounte Murray and gave up all the picks and gave up everything and did all that stuff. Now you're looking to trade DeJounte Murray, who, granted, you don't know if he has the Achilles tear or anything playing on the Lakers. But, again, things tend to just work itself out. Let things develop is my point. And I understand in a season, because you don't know the future, it's easy to be frustrated. I was frustrated last trade deadline. But now it's a new season, and it's like, okay, well, let's wait and see how the dust settles on this season, right? We can judge him accordingly last season or even season to season. Again, he's had bad moments. Don't get me wrong. He has had several bad moments. It's just most of the criticism Rob Pelinka gets had nothing to do with Rob Pelinka. If you have a criticism of Rob Pelinka, I encourage you to look into that situation. Like the Russell Westbrook situation is usually the one that people bring up immediately. And I'm like, again, just take 10 seconds and Google the Russell Westbrook trade situation, and you'll see Rob Pelinka had nothing to do with that. His boss told him to do something. What is he supposed to do? Nah, boss, not doing that. Right? Okay, then I'll just fire you and bring somebody that will. Right? At least Rob Pelinka was able to find and correct it. And he corrected it, and we ended up in the conference finals. Right? And then we ended up going and getting Dorian Finney-Smith. And then ultimately it led makes the Anthony Davis trade, which he won, by the way. And then turned that into Luka Doncic. The guy has been great. Right? The guy has done more than most GMs that have been in office for 10 plus years. Right? He deserves praise. He deserves this extension, in my opinion. But, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass question to you. Let me know yours down in the comments below. Do you agree? Disagree? Kind of mixed in the middle? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it either way, so let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot, so we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.